KY3 News starts now.
Good evening, I'm Paul Adler. First at 5, an arrest and charges filed in an Ozarks unsolved case. It dates back nearly 40 years. The ex-husband of Rona Brimmer has been charged with murder. In late December 1988, Joel Brimmer reported his wife as missing. Rona had been 7 months pregnant at the time. Around 2 years after she vanished, Joel divorced her. And in 1997, Rona officially declared dead. Meantime, the Greene County Sheriff's Office started investigating the discovery of a skull in 1991. This is video from '91 after an artist used clay to recreate what the person may have looked like before she died. It wouldn't be until 2001 that testing would confirm the skull belonged to Rona. In 2024, investigators working with the documentary team found Joel had previously been arrested for domestic abuse against Rona in Iowa. And that discovery led to the charges filed against Joel today.
We have probable cause to believe that he committed this crime, and it's evident that if the prosecutor didn't believe that she could prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Brimmer did this, then we wouldn't be sitting here today.
Joel faces 2 counts of murder. He's been held in the Christian County Jail on a $200,000 bond.